patterns in the psyche that give us strength and individuality. These archetypes weren't suppressed by societal algorithms, they were celebrated in mixtapes, zines, and late-night conversations. The 90s woman didn't need validation from a screen because her validation came from within, from the courage to be unapologetically herself. Now, let's bring this to 2025. We're in a moment where nostalgia for the 90s is everywhere, on TikTok, X, in fashion, in music. Why? Because we're craving what those women had, the freedom to exist without filters. Today, we're bombarded with expectations, perfect photos, viral moments, endless comparisons. But the psychology of 90s women teaches us something radical: you don't need to conform to shine. Jung's idea of individuation isn't about fitting into a mold, it's about breaking free from one. Those women didn't have influencers telling them how to look or apps dictating their trends. They created their own. They wore what felt right, said what they believed, and lived with a boldness that came from trusting their inner voice. That's the power of unfiltered self-expression. It's not just about style, it's about owning your story. Let me make this personal for you. Think about the last time you hesitated to share something, maybe a thought, a dream, or even a quirky outfit, because you worried what others might think. That hesitation is the weight of our digital age, where every move is scrutinized. But 90s women didn't have that weight. They danced to Spice Girls in their living rooms, wrote poetry in spiral notebooks, and laughed without checking if the moment was post-worthy. Their psychology was grounded in presence, not performance. Jung would argue this presence allowed them to connect with their shadow, the hidden parts of the self we often suppress. By embracing their imperfections, their quirks, their raw energy, they became whole. And wholeness, my friends, is where true confidence lives. So, what does this mean for us today? It means we can choose freedom over filters. In 2025, as we rediscover the 90s through retro fashion and digital detox trends, we're being called to reclaim that unfiltered spirit. Put down your phone, even for an hour, and ask yourself, who am I when no one's watching? What do I want to say, create, or become? Jung believed that individuation is a lifelong journey, but it starts with one bold step: expressing yourself without fear. Maybe it's wearing that outfit you've been hesitant to try, speaking your truth in a meeting, or writing that story you've kept inside. The 90s woman didn't wait for permission, and neither should you. This isn't just about nostalgia, it's about power. The power to define yourself on your own terms, to let your archetypes, your inner rebel, artist, or dreamer, shine through. In a world that tries to box us in, unfiltered self-expression is an act of rebellion, a declaration of freedom. It's how 90s women found their strength, and it's how we can find ours. So, I challenge you, step away from the screen, listen to your inner voice, and express who you are without apology. Let the world see your raw, beautiful, unfiltered truth. Your truest self is your greatest gift. Embrace it, express it, and let it light up the world, just like the women of the 90s did. Be bold, be you, and start today. Let's step back into the vibrant, unplugged world of the 90s, where women lived with a creative spark that didn't need Wi-Fi to ignite. Picture a young woman in 1995, sprawled on her bedroom floor, scribbling poetry in a spiral notebook, or dancing to a mixtape she made for herself, no algorithm curating her playlist. This wasn't just a moment of fun, it was a profound act of connecting to something deeper, something universal. As we stand here in 2025, with nostalgia for that era flooding TikTok, X, and our collective hearts, let's explore how the 90s woman's creative freedom, viewed through Carl Jung's lens of the collective unconscious, offers us a powerful lesson in rediscovering our own creative fire. This is about more than nostalgia, it's about unlocking the stories within us that connect us to the world. In the 90s, women didn't have endless apps to distract them or social media to dictate their worth. Without those digital crutches, they turned inward, tapping into their creativity in ways that felt raw and real. They wrote zines, sketched in sketchbooks, or choreographed dances to TLC tracks in their living rooms. This wasn't about going viral, it was about expression for expression's sake. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, would say these women were connecting to the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of human experiences, myths, and archetypes that live in all of us. For Jung, creativity wasn't just art, it was a bridge to the universal stories that shape our souls. The 90s woman, free from the noise of notifications, was a storyteller, weaving her personal dreams into the larger tapestry of humanity. Think about it, a 90s woman didn't need a tutorial to create. She didn't scroll for inspiration or wait for likes to validate her work. She picked up a pen, a paintbrush, or a guitar and let her inner world spill out. Whether she was journaling about her dreams or decorating her denim jacket with pins, her psychology was rooted in freedom, the freedom to create without judgment. Jung believed that tapping into the collective unconscious through creativity allows us to access archetypes like the creator, the dreamer, or the healer. These are universal energies that give us purpose and connect us to something bigger. The 90s woman, by expressing herself so freely, was living this truth, crafting her story in a way that resonated with the timeless human spirit. Now, fast forward to 2025. We're in a world where creativity is often filtered through algorithms. We hesitate to share our art, our words, our ideas, because we fear they won't measure up to the polished posts we see online. But the 90s woman didn't have that fear. She wasn't creating for an audience of millions, she was creating for herself, for her friends, for the joy of it. And in that act, she touched something universal. Jung would say she was accessing the collective unconscious, where our personal stories echo the myths and dreams of humanity. When she wrote a poem about heartbreak, she wasn't just processing her own pain, she was channeling the archetype of the wounded healer, a universal figure that transforms suffering into wisdom. What does this mean for us today? It means we have the power to reclaim that creative freedom. The 90s nostalgia trending on TikTok and X isn't just about plaid skirts or boy bands. It's a call to return to a time when we created without fear, without filters. In 2025, we're craving digital detox, yearning to unplug and reconnect with our authentic selves. Jung's collective unconscious reminds us that our creativity isn't just personal, it's a gift to the world. When you write, sing, paint, or even daydream, you're not just expressing yourself, you're contributing to the shared story of humanity. The 90s woman knew this instinctively. She didn't need validation from a screen to know her voice mattered. So, let's make this real for you. Think about the last time you wanted to create something, a story, a drawing, a dance, but stopped because you thought, it's not good enough. That's the digital age talking, not your soul. The 90s woman would tell you to grab that pen, turn up that music, and let it flow. Jung would tell you that your creativity is a doorway to the collective unconscious, where your unique voice connects to the eternal. In a world that's always online, choosing to create without fear is an act of courage, a way to honor the archetypes within you. Maybe it's starting a journal, sketching in a notebook, or dancing like no one's watching. Whatever it is, do it for you, not for likes. This is our invitation in 2025, to create like the 90s woman, with abandon and authenticity. Let's unplug, even for a moment, and listen to the stories inside us. Let's tap into the collective unconscious, where our creativity becomes a bridge between our personal dreams and the universal human experience. Your voice, your art, your story, they matter. They're part of something bigger, something timeless. So, pick up that pen, that brush, that dream, and let it shine. Your creativity is a spark from the eternal flame of humanity. Light it up, share your story, and let it ripple through the world, just like the 90s women did. Start now, and don't look back.